Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our second segment on Eskrima and Calis Ilustrisimo. And joining us still is Mr. Romeo Macapagal, the archivist of Calis Ilustrisimo Arnis System. And joining him now is Arnold Narzo, he's the chief instructor of Kiro. So, welcome back, Mr. Macapagal.
Thank you.
And of course, welcome, Arnold, to our second segment. I just want to talk about that video we showed earlier, because in the first segment, we showed a very theatric video.
Yes.
Hollywood Arnis.
Yes.
Hollywood Eskrima.
Yes.
What we showed now is like the more practical application.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that video po?
Well, each style has their own approach to self-defense. In Ilustrisimo, the approach is efficiency, which means that if you parry, you're striking at the same time. You don't parry and then strike, because two beats leave a gap.
Yeah, see, because when you parry and you don't strike, the
Yes.
opponent can get something in.
Can get in
Yes.
or can counter.
Yeah.
So, as soon as you parry, you've got to deliver a disabling movement or
Opo,
strike.
opo.
And that makes it, to our mind, more efficient.
Yes. And very different from the two videos we saw. Because we saw the
Yes.
Bruce Lee
Yes.
and the Keanu Reeves,
Yes.
Arnis.
Uh-uh.
And as you said earlier po, in the real world,
Yes.
that kind of thing doesn't happen.
Yes, exactly. And among even the schools of Arnis, there are different points of view. Okay? And the point of view can differ between who has been in real fights and who has just learned his Arnis theoretically.
Okay.
Okay? Because if you witness a real fight or you have been involved in a real fight, you have a sense of what is necessary to survive in a violent encounter.
Survival,
Okay?
yes.
But when you are in the gym and you are imagining what should be done and what cannot be done, especially when it is executed at low speed, you are never sure that it will work in real life.
Yes. Now, interesting you should say gym because Arnold, ikaw instructor ka. How long, gaano katagal ka ng instructor na Arnis?
I think 10 years more na.
No, excuse me. I want to,
Yes.
he has been teaching for about 15 years now.
Okay.
Okay? And became a full instructor about 12 years ago.
Okay.
Okay. I know because I issued the certificate. I signed it along with Tony. Masyadong pababa na ano. Okay. Arnold is very well versed.
Yes.
Tony, him, and myself put together a set of drills
Okay.
in order for new students to learn how to move properly, how to execute the techniques properly. And about a month back, 2 months back, I played with him. And I have to say that I am already very impressed with his skill.
Excellent. Now, we have some new gear here. Earlier we had the blades, we had some sticks, but now we have new gear like armor.
Yes.
Maybe you guys can walk us through the new stuff you brought in the set.
Okay, now, to be able to train hard and fast with real intent, you need protective gear.
Of course.
Okay? Because
Very painful.
when you are playing muestra, this is a loan word from Spanish. Muestra.
Muestra. Okay.
Mostra or muestra means to demonstrate.
All right.
Because of the possible injury to your partner, the movements are light, they are slower than normal.
You hold back, of course.
You hold back.
Yes.
Okay. And as I was saying earlier, you never know if you're doing it right or not. So you need to move hard and fast and with full intent,
Like it was the real thing.
like it was the real thing.
Okay.
In order to protect us, then we have headgear, either this. Let me put
It
this
kind of
on.
looks like what you see in a kendo.
Yeah, it's similar
no?
to a kendo mask.
Kendo mask. Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
And, pakisuot mo, Arnold.
so if you're hit by this, let's say you could actually get
Yes.
that's
Yes.
to protect the.
You can actually take
Whoa.
a very full blow. That's a
Yeah.
third force,
Yes,
one-third
yes.
force.
Yes.
See?
Whoa,
And
okay.
you'll not
So,
get.
so in sparring,
I'm
in
sorry.
training, you wear this and you really go full
Yes.
at it. No, you don't. No
Full
holds
tilt.
barred.
Full
no holds
tilt.
barred. Now, ito si Arnold may
Ah,
sinusot na
the-
ibang klaseng maskara ho to.
Yes, and
Mukhang-
this is for when we are playing with blunts, because a blunt can go through
and it can
this
hurt you pretty
and
bad.
hurt you pretty badly,
Yes, yes,
fatal
right.
injury. But this will prevent the possibility of a penetration, and when we're using knife, for instance, then it offers more. Even a wooden knife that can be
is
pretty
a,
dangerous.
A fencing.
It's a saber mask.
Saber mask.
It's a heavier mask than it's a heavier gauge wire than the foil.
Okay.
Than for
okay.
the foil.
Okay. And then this thing is also very interesting. And,
Yes.
this is
This
something that you.
This is armor
Okay.
that was designed by 12 Pares. And you put this on so that you have body protection against even a blunt.
So with blunts, you can use this with
Yes.
with the steel
Yes.
blunts. Okay.
And we have this forearm protection.
Of course, because when you're
Yes.
hit, when you spar, I mean, you
Yes.
can really get hit in the hands, and
Yes.
that's going to be really painful.
Yes,
without
because
the-
that's the main target.
Yes.
Okay?
yes. It is a
And
main target, really.
It is. And to protect your hands, actually, you have these gloves.
Okay.
See?
So this one, and then the
And-
arm guard.
Yes.
And so this
And
gives you at least a little bit of
forearm
protection. No?
gives you protection. And we've found out that more protection than just this is needed. So
So you actually have
We
sticks
designed-
outfitted with
we designed
rubber guard
Yes, sticks with rubber guards
to add
to add more protection.
More protection.
Because the main target is the hand or the arm.
Yes, yes.
Okay?
Now, sir, with this kind of gear, you still get hurt. No? I mean, when you go
Oh, yes.
full on, it still hurts.
Oh,
It's
yes.
pretty painful, no?
I have an injury here
Yeah.
from a blunt. It went through
Yeah.
the rubber
Can we get see that? Can you zoom in on that? So this has happened recently. And
about
so-
2 months ago.
And so you're sparring, and then
Yes.
even with all the armor and all the protection,
Yes.
you still got that.
I was sparring with this,
with the blunt. Okay.
with the blunt.
Very nice.
And it went through this.
Yes. So I mean, it looks very formidable, actually.
Yes.
No. So yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
We actually have a video that of an actual sparring or competition, which we're going to show now, and I want us to tell the viewers exactly what we're seeing and maybe describe how a typical arnis competition match
Yes.
goes. So
Okay.
can we have that video on the competition, the arnis competition?
Do I comment while it's
Yes, yes, we're going to show it.
running?
Here it is, here it is. Okay, go. There. So, okay, we can see the armor
Yes.
that you just showed us and the headgear. And
Mhm.
so, tell us how it works. How does an arnis competition round, like typical round, work?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, this is based on a kind of boxing rule.
Yeah,
It is on a 10-point must system.
yeah,
The judges go for a 10-9,
yeah.
and if there is too much superiority on the other side, then it becomes a 10-8.
But you know, it's very fast. How do
It
the judges know what is a hit and how do they count? Like boom, boom, boom. I mean, it's like I can even see. It's very difficult to
Yes.
see the strikes, no?
There is a small amount of unreality in this.
Yeah.
The unreality is both players are simply moving to strike each other.
Yeah, they're just
They are not
whacking
defending.
away. Yes.
They are walking away,
Yeah.
they're not defending, and therefore, the judges determine simply by how many blows each one, or who has the most ring generalship, who seems to have the more offensive ability, who is able to strike more times.
Yes.
But in a real situation, this would be a double kill.
I mean, you get hit once or twice and ouch,
Yes.
that's it, no? I mean,
Ah.
Arnold, no? Minsan ka lang mapuruhan eh.
Oo.
Tumba ka na.
Oh, double dead ito.
Sa actual yan,
Double
hindi,
dead.
hindi
Oh,
pwede.
nice word. Nice word.
Ah.
But in your style, the Calis Illustrissimo system, do you advocate this kind of tournament fighting? I mean, is this the style that you teach?
No, we cannot implement our style in this manner.
Did you guys compete in this kind of
We
forum?
did.
Yeah.
We did. In fact, Arnold was champion about 12, 15 years ago.
Mga 12 years ago yan.
12 years ago, he was champion of this kind of competition.
Yes, yes.
Okay? It's based more on athletic ability.
Yes.
than on any
On technique.
real effective technique. Okay, but you see, this type of competition was responsible for the flurry of interest worldwide into arnis.
It made it more mainstream.
It made
Right.
it more mainstream, it made it more popular, especially in the developed countries. And now, even the developing countries, Vietnam, etc., are trying to learn arnis because it has the elements of a sport. It also
Rules and
Yes.
judges.
yes,
And, you know, that kind of
so
thing.
there's a controlled environment.
Yes.
It's a safe space in which to be able to display your athletic prowess. So yes, it has contributed very greatly to the popularity of the
Opo.
FMA.
How do you guys? How does your organization, Calis Illustrissimo? How do you now? Do you still compete in these kinds of tournaments?
No longer.
So you really concentrate on your art form, which
Yes.
is really about self-defense.
Yes.
And protection.
And lately, since we've been using this in the application of techniques against attacks. So we spar, but we make sure that the techniques are executed very properly so that the strike is very clean and you neutralize the sword hand of your opponent.
That's why you said that the target is the hand.
The target is the hand. So
Because if you can't hold the sword or the stick, then
you're
game
finished.
over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Game over.
In much the same way, if I am attacked and I'm able to parry the attack and I'm able to grab or throw away his weapon hand, then I have a chance to come in with my attack all in one movement.
On one move.
Okay.
Very practical.
Very practical.
Yes.
And that is the objective of all of the training, to be able to parry and strike
Okay.
in one beat.
What about ranks? How do you say, like in karate, you have a brown belt, a yellow belt? How do you go up I mean, does your system have that? Like, up the ranks and you get promoted to...
Mostly it has been outside organizations giving us rankings that have been responsible for this.
So you guys are really purists. You
Yeah.
guys are really purists. No,
Yes.
which is good. It's good. No,
Which
no,
is why
absolutely.
Tony refused to be called master, but people insisted on calling him master. Okay? I cringe when someone calls me master. Okay? Just so people who want to learn under Arnold 12 years ago gave him a certificate instructor. Okay? So eventually, I think 2-3 years ago, one of these organizations that issue ranks gave him the title of master. That's why he can be called master by many people now.
I guess you have to also work within the bigger framework of the group.
Yes.
I mean, the practitioners now.
Yes, there is a very large group of arnis practitioners, and we try to be friendly with each other. We
To
try
advance the
be-
sport, of course.
Yes,
It
to
would-
advance.
so,
My goal
Opo.
is to see arnis presented in its purer form, and then also, which they are doing a very good job of now, is to present it as a sport.
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, there's room for both.
There
Opo,
has to
there's
be
room
there
for
has
both.
to be room
Yes,
for both.
yes. Sir, another question before we go, because we have paused for a
Yes.
break in a few minutes.
Yes.
Let's talk about age. What age, I mean, can people start this, or is it a sport that you can never be too old to learn?
Arnold, anong tingin mo?
Anong tingin mo, Arnold?
Gaano ka bata pwedeng simulan ang...
Sa akin is mga 15 kasi parang
Youngest.
Youngest parang responsible. Magkaroon siya ng responsibility kasi kung masyadong bata,
Baka gamitin lang sa mga...
maglalaro sa
Oo,
school,
and-
isasaksak, gano'n.
And masakit to.
Oo.
Talagang
Tama.
nakakasakit to,
Tama.
di ba?
Exactly.
So,
Sakit
medyo may
yan,
konting maturity na.
nakakabulag.
Yes,
Pagka,
yes.
Oo.
Oo.
Yes.
Wow. How about yung oldest? How old is your gano'ng katanda yung pinakamatanda mong estudyante?
merong nag-alas lang is 60 years old. Nung nandun kami sa Colorado, merong mga 60 years old na siya.
At yun yung maganda sa arnis eh. Even if you're older, kahit medyo may edad ka na, senior,
Yes,
senior,
yes.
pwede ka mag-practitioner. Unlike
Yes.
yung ibang sports,
Oo.
medyo mahirap na.
Which are too
Oo.
taxing on the body.
Yes, like
Oo.
karate or taekwondo. At a certain age, syempre, your body will give.
Oo.
Yes. Sir,
Yes.
hold that thought, Arnold. Hold that thought, because when we come back, we're going to have a little demonstration.
Yes.
We'll get rid of this whole set.
Yes.
And we'll do it standing up, because we'll see really the basics in a short time, the
Okay.
basics of Calis Illustrissimo when Philippines Uncut returns.
Okay, thank you.
Ayun.